Hello, welcome to another INFJ ramble. I'm in my favorite place, parking lot, and there's been a lot on my mind, and I just kind of I wanted to make a video on it. So it's interesting how I think it's interesting, and I think we are naturally inclined to want to analyze people and judge them and tear them apart. I think I think that is, um, I suppose, human nature, right? And it's not good or bad. I think it's necessary in order to understand something. I guess the whole motivation behind this video was because I came across video that was trying to analyze and debunk whether or not people were their personality type, I suppose. Did I say that correctly? I'm not sure. Yeah, I came across a video where somebody was trying to judge me and criticize me and debunk my personality type. First of all, personality types, that's not who you really are. That's just a reference point to help you to understand yourself more. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about just that whole methodology. Like, if you have the time to analyze someone else, then surely you have enough time to analyze yourself, right? If you can analyze others, you should probably take an equal measure of time to analyze yourself. And if you're not, then what are you doing with your life? So I came across a video. Somebody was trying to disprove the fact that I am not an INFJ, and that's fine. I may or may not be an INFJ. I do not limit myself to these labels or these I don't limit myself to anything. And to be honest, I don't really take anything too seriously. And it is what it is, you know? Somebody said that they thought I was all these other things, and that's fine. We have everything inside of us, and I really feel like you shouldn't limit yourself to anything, you know, and when you do, that's when you kind of stunt your growth. And I feel like also analysis is limited to how expansive your mind is. So if you have a small-minded perspective, and I've said this in my other videos, then that's how much you're going to see. You know, you can see that, or you can see that, or you can see that. And I'm always trying to push myself to push through limitations and barriers and boundaries in order to become, again, a more holistic human being. And so thank you for the video. Thank you for taking the time to even make a video on what you think I am. I mean, that takes a lot of mental energy, and I don't know. I found it entertaining and comical, and I used it also as a reference point to kind of understand other people's perspectives and what they were saying. Some people said I was arrogant, and you know, that kind of hit a nerve, and I thought about it, and you know what? I guess I can come off as arrogant. It just depends on you and what you want to see and experience. I can also come off as very humble and very quiet and very kind and very, you know, behind the scenes, which I usually am. It's just when I make these videos, I enter a space, I suppose, of comfort where I feel like I can reveal many dimensions of myself. You know, usually when we're interacting with people, you know, you have a different costume on. You have a particular mask on that is used to harmonize and to suit the environment, the atmosphere, and the people you're dealing with, you know? Like, for instance, when I'm with someone that I don't really know, I'm not going to be as I guess, ostentatious or as like open. You know, I'm gonna be quiet, I'm gonna be more observant, I'm gonna be on the listening end of things. But in these videos, I actually have the opportunity to express myself and to the fullest extent. So I don't know how you can really judge someone based off of like videos, you know, like especially if you haven't interacted with them. And it's also very, very like based on, like I said, your perspective and what you're looking for and what you're able to see, you know, how expansive your mind is. So yeah, I can be arrogant. Some people say INFJs would be too shy to even make a video. And I want to say 10 years ago I was. 5 years ago I was. I was shy. I didn't want attention. I would always use monikers. I wouldn't really take pictures of myself. I wouldn't really even consider making a video of myself. I was quite ashamed of myself, to be honest, and I didn't want to put myself out there. But like I said, like, how expansive are you? Are you willing to just kind of like keep yourself limited to a personality type and stay there, or are you willing to push through those boundaries of, you know, like, so your personality type, I think it's a good reference point because it tells you like your strengths and your weaknesses. And you know, like for me, I would analyze my weak areas and then I'd kind of try to work towards pushing through those boundaries. You know, I don't want to be limited to what somebody says I am, you know what I mean? So yeah, I can honestly say, like, if you met me 10 years ago, I would probably fit the I don't know, this, I would fit the description of a typical INFJ, but I've kind of pushed myself through the limitations of what that entails. So like, yeah, you know, like we're not good at expressing ourselves verbally. We are better writers, and yes, that was true for me. But as I got older, I put myself in situations where I needed to get past that and learn how to verbally express myself. And I'm still not good at it. Obviously, I still stumble for my words in my videos, and you know, at the end of the video, I'm not quite sure if I even made sense. I still have issues stitching thoughts or ideas together, you know, but because I've practiced and I've exercised the muscle more, I've been strengthening that part of me. And yeah, you know, also the arrogance, I think, comes from years of allowing myself to be abused mentally, physically, emotionally, and finally being able to like know what I need, know what I want, and then create a boundary when, you know, somebody is overstepping, like, you know, like I said, I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a huge pushover, and yeah, you know, that meets the criteria of being an INFJ. But as I grew through that and I realized what I wanted and who I really was, then I started, you know, implementing boundaries and expressing what I think is acceptable and not acceptable. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, that's all fine and dandy if you want to keep yourself enclosed in a box labeled INFJ or ENFP or ENTP or whatever you want. You know, that's fine if you want to operate from that standpoint, but I have always been one to question things and to push through things that are uncomfortable in order to expand myself. Oh, another thing that somebody mentioned, which I thought was interesting. I'm not offended at all. I feel like this is like good material for me to, like, you know, digest, to kind of like enhance myself. Somebody said, so on top of being arrogant, oh, I dress colorful. Also, I'm supposed to dress black and white. I'm supposed to do what is expected, or I don't know if I'm getting across, like, you know what I mean? Like, my whole thing is like, you're not what anybody says you are. You are who you are, you know? And yeah, I'm not going to limit myself to descriptions, you know what I mean? I'm not going to limit myself. So, my whole thing is, yeah, maybe INFJ, ENTP, INTJ, who cares? Who cares about these labels, guys? It's just a reference point. When I first started making the videos, I, you know, used INFJ as the predominant topic for my rambles to circulate around, but I don't really like put too much weight on that label, and I don't think you should either. It's just a tool. It's just a reference point to understand yourself more. Another person was saying that if I was an INFJ, I would be talking about like humanity and stuff. But I seem to talk about myself more. And why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I talk about myself? I mean, I feel like if you want to see changes in the world, it starts with yourself. Um, if you want to feel and distribute and experience love, then it starts with yourself. So, we've been focusing our attention on everything and everyone around us. And I know that from firsthand experience because I've lived that for most of my life. And I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know who I was because I was kind of like always enmeshed in other people's energies and also other people's constructs, right? So I did that side of the coin, where the humanitarian, the caregiver, the caretaker, I did that, and it destroyed me. And I needed to find a way to, find myself and to rejuvenate myself and to become more of myself. And so I started turning my attention inward. I don't think that's arrogant. I don't think that's self-centered. I think that's what most people should be doing, but they're externalizing instead. Yeah, like it starts with yourself. I mean, if you are an INFJ, I'm sure you will agree, like Gandhi's be the change you want to see in the world. I mean, I don't know how you guys are deciphering that, but that's basically look inside of yourself and be that change, not go out there and change everything around you. I don't know, it's weird. Like, and I don't know, I guess that's kind of why I made these videos and I tried to keep it low key, because I don't want to be the topic of, I don't know, I don't really want to be the topic of someone else's discussion. I'm just using this as a reference point for myself, and if you want to watch, that's great. If you learn something from it, that's great. But I don't know, I feel like for me it's all about pushing boundaries. If somebody tells me I'm a particular thing, then I'll probably find ways to disprove them, or I will, try to push past boundaries in order to see and seek who I really am, and I am not something that can be put in a box, I suppose. I don't know. That's cool. I'm kind of at a loss for words, but interesting. That's all I have to say. Everything and everyone is so interesting to me. And I hope you're having a great day and have a beautiful life. I was thinking about it, like, I noticed, like, for the most part, I'm pretty calm. I'm pretty supportive. I am interested in learning and understanding others and myself. and also understanding like how everything correlates to other things. So yeah, I have that side of me that is very analytical. I mean, we're multidimensional. I mean, I don't know how you could just say I am this or that. You're everything. You're everything. Like you're not just this or that. You are everything. We're I don't know. I don't know, people. I feel like it's hard to impart knowledge on people who are at a certain level or degree of understanding. You know, like I can't teach a kindergartner trigonometry, you know what I mean, unless their brain is wired to absorb that information. Because if not, then my words fall upon deaf ears or it's misinterpreted, you know. So tomato, tomato. You can think whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can see whatever you want. It's all dependent on how expansive your mind is and what you're looking for, I suppose. Thanks for listening to my 16-minute and 14-second ramble, whatever. Tomatoes. Amen. Oh, before I leave, I guess the most important thing that you need to always remember is you need, irregardless of what people think and how people see you or how they perceive you, the most important thing is how you perceive and see yourself. And if you accept what you find, you know, if you are constantly rejecting certain parts of yourself, then that's when you're always at war with yourself, right? I mean, you are your own best friend, and you are the only person that you're going to be with from the time you're born till you die. So, you know, I guess what's most important is, regardless of how people see or perceive you, what really matters is how you see and perceive yourself, and if you accept what you see when you see it. All right, amen.